From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the News Blast for this hour. Israel's military said Saturday it was preparing for the possibility of a lengthy war and announced it struck an Iranian nuclear research facility overnight and killed 3 senior Iranian commanders in targeted attacks. The prospect of a wider war threatened too. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen said they would resume attacks on U.S. vessels and warship in the Red Sea if Trump and his administration join the Israeli military campaign against Iran. The Houthis paused such attacks in May under a deal with the United States. The U.S. ambassador to Israel announced the U.S. has begun assisted departure flights, the first such flights from Israel since the Hamas-led attack on October 7th, 2023, that sparked the ongoing war with Gaza. Inside Iran, smoke rose from an area near a mountain in Isfahan, where the province's deputy governor for security affairs, Akbar Salehi, confirmed that the Israeli strikes damaged the facility but caused no casualties. Meanwhile, back at home, Democrats can't seem to make up their mind about how to proceed. After nearly 2 years of stark divisions over the war in Gaza and support for Israel, Democrats are now finding themselves at odds over U.S. policy toward Iran as progressives demand unified opposition to President Donald Trump's consideration of a strike against Tehran's nuclear program, while party leaders tread more cautiously. U.S. leaders of all stripes have found common ground for 2 decades on the position that Iran cannot be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon. The longtime U.S. foe has supported groups that have killed Americans across the Mideast and threatens to destroy Israel. But Trump's public flirtation with joining Israel's offensive against Iran may become the Democratic Party's latest schism, just as it is sharply dividing Trump's isolationist Make America Great Again base from more hawkish conservatives. While progressives have staked out clear opposition to Trump's potential actions, the party leadership is playing the safer ground of demanding a role for Congress before Trump could use force against Iran. Many prominent Democrats with 2028 presidential aspirations are staying silent so far on the Israel-Iran war. They're sort of hedging their bets, said Joel Rubin, a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State who served under Democratic President Barack Obama and is now a strategist on foreign policy. The beast of the Democratic Party's constituencies right now are so hostile to Israel's war in Gaza that it's really difficult to come out looking like one would corroborate with an unauthorized war that supports Israel without any blowback. Representative Ro Khanna, a Democrat from California, has called Trump's consideration of an attack a defining moment for our party and has introduced legislation with Representative Thomas Massie, the Republican from Kentucky, that calls on the Republican president to terminate the use of U.S. armed forces against Iran unless explicitly authorized by a declaration of war from Congress. Khanna used Trump's own campaign arguments of putting American interests first when the congressman spoke to Theo Von, a comedian who's been supportive of the president and is popular in the, quote, manosphere. That's going to cost this country a lot more money that should be spent here at home, said Khanna, who is said to be among the Democrats eyeing the party's 2028 primary. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent who twice sought the Democratic presidential nomination, pointed to Trump's stated goal during his inaugural speech of being known as a, quote, peacemaker and a unifier. Very fine words. Trump should remember them today. Supporting Netanyahu's war against Iran would be a catastrophic mistake, Sanders said about Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That's the News Blast at this hour. If you are watching our videos on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.